You're listening to the Impact Implosion on the Angry Marks Podcast Network.
Edition of the Impact Implosion. My name, as always, is Seth Draken, and on the other end of the line is Mike Poland.
Hello, hello. Cut the music. Cut the music.
Anyways, I think we're going to call this episode, Why the Hell Did We Have a Pay-Per-View?
Mm-hmm.
Because seriously, there was no point at all to this pay-per-view.
There was no turning point to this pay-per-view.
Yeah, none. Anyways, let's get into turning point, because that's the first thing we got to deal with.
Yay.
Show opens with Taz in the middle of the ring talking about the devastation of Hurricane Katrina.
Sandy. Not Katrina. Sandy.
Sandy. God damn it. Yes, Sandy. Sorry.
Katrina was about 7 years ago.
Yeah.
And not New York.
iHeartRadio star Buckethead.
Ugh.
Along with Bully Ray. Or as I call him, Buddy Ray now.
Because he had nothing better to do tonight. He wasn't booked on the show.
Yeah. Buckethead thanks Taz and the fans in the Impact Zone and says he wants to set the world record for the number of fans texting at the same time during a pay-per-view.
Why would you want to set that record?
I don't know. The heck, up here where I lived, they tried to set a record that was of Asbury Park, had that record of largest zombie walk.
Yes, sir. Anyway, we start off with the matches with actually what was a pretty good one with Samoa Joe and Magnus.
Yep.
Not a bad way to open a show.
Oh no, not at all. These two...
Especially considering the next several matches drug the show down.
Oh yeah. But, Samoa Joe wins with the Coquina Clutch. Magnus never taps out, but he does pass out.
Oh, valiant heel.
Yep.
We have a promo from ODB and Eric Young, which I didn't watch, and then we had the match.
Yeah. Yeah, ODB, all ODB says is she hasn't seen Eric Young in weeks.
Which means he's in the building tonight.
And Eric Young explains this, that he hasn't been able to call because a shark ate his phone.
And ODB's an idiot and buys it.
Yep.
What is in that stuff you're drinking that makes you stupid?
I don't know. Anyways, the next match was our freaking garbage mixed tag match. No title was on the line, nothing.
And now ODB, as we'll get into later, ODB doesn't even get a Knockouts title shot, but we'll get to that when we get to that.
I'm pissed now!
Anyways, Eric Young has a new gimmick where if you piss him off, he will take off his freaking shorts.
Yeah. Anyway.
Why?
Nobody wants to see that.
Yeah, anyways, EY pins Jesse and wins the match with a flying elbow drop.
Yay.
Then we had to look back
6
to the
minutes too long.
Yep. Then we had to look back at the Hammer Time moment where Aces and Eights beat up Sting. Anyways, James Storm talks about a redemption and winning this match and going on to become the next TNA World Heavyweight Champion. And sorry about somebody's damn luck.
And we know who that somebody is, but we'll get there later.
Yeah. The next match is Smoking RVD versus Joey Ryan.
Ugh.
You didn't like this match, did you?
No. Could have been much better.
Yeah, I guess it was short. RVD wins. Immediately.
You didn't need the mixed tag here. You could have taken the 7 or 8 minutes that that match got and maybe added a few more minutes off and added it to this match.
Yep. After the match, RVD gets his head kicked off by Matt Morgan, which CR was wondering where his head was. Well, we found
a lot of us have been wondering that for years.
Yeah,
Anyway.
well, after getting his head kicked off by Matt Morgan. Anyways, we had Joseph Park talking about how he wishes Sting a speedy recovery. And he's not going to lie about it. He's scared to face the guys who took out the Icon.
Joseph Park is the most awkward character ever.
Yeah, I like him.
He always seems so nervous.
He's scared, but he said they took away his civil liberties by kidnapping him and beating him to a pulp week after week.
Even when he was calling out Hogan a couple weeks ago, he's like, I'm calling out Hulk Hogan, and then he's surprised when Hogan comes out, but you called him out.
Yeah. So we had Doc versus Joseph Park.
This was what it was.
Yeah. Doc pretty much dominated most of the match. Joseph Park had a bit of life, but then he had a trance and he beats the crap out of Doc and then snaps out of it and gets beaten.
It's Heckle and Jekyll.
Yeah, snaps out of it only to get beaten. So, yeah, Doc wins. Doc's about to hammer him, but Buddy Ray comes in to make the save and raises Joseph Park's hand to end that moment. Then we had Bobby Roode talking backstage. He's gonna show the world that he's still the it factor of professional wrestling, and a better man than James Storm and AJ Styles. We'll get to your better man comments later, Bobby Roode, with what you said later. He's going to get himself back into the main event picture, and come one step closer to gaining back his World Heavyweight title.
Note to Bobby Roode, despite not getting a title shot, you've been in the main event picture. You've still been in the main event picture for the last 6 months.
Yeah. TNA Tag Team title match.
This was good.
Yeah. Why does Chavo and Hernandez need to keep the belt? It was obvious through this whole program that the team that they really put out there for this feud was Daniels and Kaz. Yes. Daniels and Kaz. Yeah. They're the ones they put out there because they know that if you're going to have a Joseph Park and, not Joseph Park, Chavo and Hernandez, you're not going to get much buys.
You're more flustered than I am. Anyway.
Yeah.
The match is fine. Hernandez and Chavo win. Now where do they go from here with what we saw in Impact and apparently the rekindling of an undying feud?
Yeah, we'll see next week because they taped it already. Yes, Impact this week was taped, so
yes,
move on.
Next week is the Thanksgiving show.
Yeah. Anyways, we had the number one contenders match between Bobby Roode, James Storm, AJ Styles. Winner of this match gets the number one contendership.
Another good match.
The one who gets pinned.
Gee, I wonder who that was.
The one who gets pinned or submitted does not get a title shot until Battle for Glory 2013.
And if there's any surprise in all who took the pinfall here,
anyone
surprised? Yeah.
If you are surprised by who took the pinfall, you haven't been paying attention.
For the last 6 to 8 months.
Yeah. AJ Styles got pinned by James Storm, which you'll find out is rendered moot.
We'll get to that.
How was this match?
It was very good.
Yeah.
It's probably the best match on the show.
Then we had Devon backstage, and Cole said, "Tonight is a turning point."
Pun.
Yeah. His turning point was when a group of men proved they had his back. And he tells Kurt Angle not to take the impending ass-kicking personal because he's just the recipient of a random act of chaos. Devon also says it's just club business.
Yay, of course.
And then we had Kurt Angle versus Devon.
Have these two ever actually faced before other than maybe in tag matches?
I don't know, but honestly, who really cared? Kurt Angle won by submission.
Which basically makes Devon look weak.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Anyways, backstage camera guy caught up with AJ Styles, and AJ just
blows him off.
Yeah, blows him off, doesn't listen to him. Then we have...
Why would he? He's
man
dejected
in the world
because he lost.
The greatest man in the world, or the great... What does he call himself?
The greatest man who ever lived.
Austin Aries. He's about to write the final chapter in Jeff Hardy's long career. Because it's stacked against him. But he's going to take that deck and shove it down Hardy's throat. He doesn't need the adoration of the fans or the support of TNA management. And he says
he had much of that as far as teenage management goes. I don't think he's had much of that since his title reign.
Yeah. He says Hardy will need every break he can get and the support of every one of those fans to keep him from taking away the title. Which is our main event, a ladder match.
Yep. This was basically what a ladder match. This was pretty good, but of course Hardy wins, and
here's the problem with this. I saw some of the previews. There's a moment where Hardy's about to get the belts, and the belts are raised up.
yeah, Aries did that.
Yep. But normally when something like that's done, the person who gets screwed out of the title. That's called a screw job, and it meant nothing. It really was a pointless thing to do.
Yep. Now what do they do with Aries now?
I don't know, but honestly, that was lame. Hardy wins the belt, and he's still the champion.
Yay.
So really no turning point. Instead, I like to call this pay-per-view SSDD. Same shit, different day.
I thought it said SSTD.
SSDD.
Oh. Anyway, do we have any news this week?
We have one, and apparently there is an AJ Styles autobiography in the works.
That ought to be phenomenal.
Oh yeah, and also, apparently Hogan lost the lawsuit where he can't stop the tape of his sex tape from being sold.
Who the hell would buy it?
I don't know, but he can't stop it from being released.
Yeah, good for him.
He couldn't stop it, so yeah, that injunction didn't work. Lawsuit's still going.
Just like the Energizer Bunny.
Yep. It's rather pointless.
Speaking of pointless...
Yeah, let's get into freaking TNA Impact. Notice that sigh. I'm just not looking forward to this.
Why don't you help me suck it? Wait a minute, that backfired. See that?
What the hell? What the hell? That took me by surprise.
I don't know what that was. Anyways, we had Impact. And yes, we had, first up...
James Storm.
Yeah, James Storm celebrating his turning point victory. And then Bobby Roode comes out with beer.
Which looks like kind of cheap Molson, but anyway.
Yeah, and he congratulates Storm for taking advantage of Roode's hard work. Oh, and Storm's pretty pissed off because he brings up his family, and Storm's like, "You and me tonight." Roode's like, "No, just for the title. No, unless you put on that number one contendership." Storm says, "Hell no," until Roode decides, oh wait, before this, I'm sorry, I didn't mention this. Storm punches Roode after saying, "You know what you can do with that bottle sucker?" Yep. Sucker. New line.
Okay then.
Anyways, back to where we were. Roode says Storm about his daughter to give him a call.
Call him
18.
Classy.
Yeah.
Very classy.
Yeah. Even I was like, dude, no. How old is that kid again? Is he like 12 or 8? What the hell?
Oh, good lord.
What the hell? Bobby, really?
Anyway, first match.
You would become Pedo Bear here?
Hello, Bobby.
Yep. Pedo Bobby. Yep. Anyways, Storm freaked out and accepts. Anyways, we got a recap once again of Sting getting down. Then we go back.
Stop showing this.
Yep. Then we go to the headquarters where, honestly enough, their aces and eights are at a card table, yet they ain't playing cards. And anyways, they talk about how Doc needs to get back into their good graces, even though he kind of did.
He frickin' won.
Yeah. Anyways, Devon threw a dart at the board and said that prick deserves it. Who's going to get it? Everyone celebrates. And he says, EB. Yes, he said EB.
EB.
Yeah, nice slippage, buddy.
Good work.
Anyways, we had our first match with Kid Cash.
A random X Division title match.
Yep. Kid Cash versus... We found Rob Van Dam's head.
It's still on his shoulders.
Yeah, it's still there.
And probably in the cloud somewhere.
Yep. This was a short match. RVD wins.
To the shock of no one.
Yep. Backstage, Eric Young and ODB made plans for EY to defeat Tara's Boo and ODB to win the Battle Royal later tonight. He whispers something about a celebration later, and they made out.
Is this camera on? Yeah, it is, guys.
Yeah.
Nice paying attention.
We also had Kurt Angle with Garrett Bischoff and Wes Briscoe. They both want to be his tag partners tonight. Although really, since one of them is actually signed to the company, you knew Garrett was getting the title shot, was getting the tag partnership. Anyways, he said, Wes, I have big plans for you, but I'm choosing Garrett tonight.
And we go to Jesse versus Eric Young. Why?
Yeah.
Next.
Yeah, Jesse wins with a one-arm stunner type move, which
stunning victory.
Yeah, I really think that stunner looked weak as hell. I've been told it isn't, but it was fucking weak. Anyways, Joseph Park joins Hulk Hogan in his office. He wants another shot. And Hogan's like, dude, no, you're not a trained wrestler, and I can't be held liable anymore. So Parks decides he's going to go to wrestling camp and become a professional wrestler. Hogan just shakes his head and says it's a bad idea and he won't be back. Then we had Samoa Joe versus Magnus, which never took place because Magnus got attacked.
And beaten down with a hammer.
Yep, beaten down with a hammer, again. By the way, there is a reason for Magnus getting beaten down. Apparently he has to go back to England because he signed on to a play of Aladdin.
Oh, just like Bret Hart in Canada.
Yes, he's the genie. Yes. Genie Magnus.
Oh, God. Nobody go see that if you live in the UK.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Oh, yeah, but we got to talk about this part, because this is great with Magnus. Magnus gets beat down for several minutes. Everyone's like, where's everyone?
Nobody cares about Magnus.
Bully Ray finally comes down.
With the road agents.
Yeah, although they say the locker room emptied.
No.
No, it didn't. And really,
Sorry.
Where the hell was Samoa Joe in all this? Because honestly, you'd think that since he was going to compete against him, he'd be the closest one there to make the save. And really, it just makes Joe look like an idiot or an asshole.
Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
Go figure.
Anyways, Austin Aries is back if they ask him what's next, and he says he's not done yet with Jeff Hardy, and actually runs into the TNA champion backstage. Aries says he's not going to bitch about losing in a match that is Jeff Hardy's specialty, and he's not going to be a sore loser. He says that he raised the game for Hardy and brought the best out of people before leaving him to his massage. Hardy then decides we gotta
enter his own mind.
And we gotta inner monologue this shit.
They're stealing from scrubs. But anyway.
Be on his level.
Mm.
Yeah. TNA.
Hardy, lay off the drugs.
Yeah. TNA, you do realize this is a fucking joke now where Hardy's doing this shit. Everyone said this for years. Even certain sites have made fun of this. This is a joke of doing this with Hardy because it takes you out of the realism. There's no suspension of disbelief in any of this.
Right.
Suspension of belief. It's all gone. You screwed it. Anyways, we got a tag match between Kurt Angle and Garrett Bischoff versus Aces and Eights, who are Devon and one of the other masked members.
Yeah, not Luke Gallows.
Yep.
Or some other schlub.
Yep.
And Angle scores the pin on the masked guy this time.
Yep.
I actually kind of like how they're doing this, where he just kind of...
Yeah, Doc tries to hit someone with the hammer. West chases him off with a lead pipe. Kurt Angle does a low blow and then a roll up. Although, never
makes
bothered.
A hasty retreat.
Yep, never bothered to take off his mask when you had him in perfect range to do that.
Who is this guy? Anyway, what's next?
Tara and Jesse decide to enter Conan's office.
This segment.
And Bully Ray's on her couch, and her legs are on Bully.
Goodness gracious.
He gets up and runs out of the room.
Oh God, I gotta leave.
Yeah. Tara said she just found out about the Battle Royal through Twitter, and she needs to be consulted about what happens in their division.
No you don't.
Brooks says she can't deal with this right now and tells Tara to knock next time. And Tara tells her, well then lock the freaking door.
Lock your damn door.
Yeah. This is going where I think it's going. Devon's a fucking decade older than Brooke.
You mean Bully Ray? You mean Bully Ray?
Yeah, Bully Ray is older by like more than 10 years.
Good lord.
Oh, what the heck?
Talked about Bobby Roode earlier. This might be worse than that.
Yeah. God. Dixie Carter is interviewed about AJ Styles, and she's known for a long time. Doesn't know what being banned from the TNA title will do to him, but she says he needs to get his head straight.
Which is what Hogan said earlier in the night, too.
Oh, yeah.
And we have the Knockouts Battle Royal.
Yep. Knockouts Battle.
I have several problems with this, actually.
There's only 5 women.
Yes. Are Sarita and Rosita still hired?
Yes, but Sarita's in, like, Mexico, and Rosita, they're not even bothering with. Sarita's not there, they're not even going to bother with Rosita.
God damn it.
Yeah.
And why does, of all people, when they're pushing ODB, why does Mickie James win? Especially when she hasn't been there for 4 months.
Well, because ODB has a fucking belt still.
A belt that doesn't matter.
I know, a belt that hasn't been defended in 7 months. Nice job, TNA. Really, you should drop those belts.
I mean, I'm sure Nikki and Tara will be probably one of TNA's better women's matches in the last few months.
Yeah.
And they'll probably happen at Final Resolution.
Yeah, actually, I don't mind that. Mickey versus Tara.
I just don't get why they've been building ODB, and then Mickey comes back after being gone for 4 months, and now she's the number 1 contender.
Well, I'm
Speaking of things that kind of make me...
I actually liked this moment of Doc is shown backstage with the other members of Ace and Eights. The leader tells Doc, don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. Doc gets pissed. The leader tells him to leave. Doc opens the door, and this is in a bit of genius. There's a guy out there holding an Aces and Eight jacket. They fucking tricked him.
Gotcha.
I actually thought this was kind of ingenious of what they did here. Make him feel like he's got kicked out, he didn't do enough. And then, oh look, you are a member! Surprise!
We got you good that time, Docky.
Yep, we got you good. And they all celebrate. I liked this. That's probably one of the only good things I'm going to say about this, is I like that segment. That was good. Anyways, we got AJ Styles in the ring, pretty pissed off. Brings us up to speed about how he can't battle for the world title until Bound for Glory 2013. He says that he's had the kind of year he's had. He's been accused of banging Dixie Carter and having a baby with a crackhead.
Impregnating a crackhead.
Yep. He talks about people not believing that he was innocent. Dude, we all knew you were fucking innocent of this shit.
You just have to play it off like you weren't.
Yeah, and being just points away from being the World Heavyweight Champion at Bound for Glory. You know
that wasn't going to happen.
Even though if he had gotten the points, he still would have had to be in the semifinals, finals, and then the title picture. Yeah, big, and then he says Thanksgiving's around the corner, but he's not thankful for anything this year. Out comes Kaz and Daniels with new music.
They had this at the pay-per-view, too.
Oh, yeah. Anyways, Kaz tells AJ to stop crying, but although every word out of his mouth is 100% accurate. Daniel says this is his worst year ever, and there is no light at the end of the tunnel for AJ. Daniel says AJ is responsible for everything that has happened to him, and calls him a broken, flawed little man.
And then AJ challenges him to a match.
Yep. Daniel says he is nothing more than a complete failure. AJ says that if I look in the record books, it says AJ beats Christopher Daniels more than the few times that Daniels beat Styles. And so he says, one last time. Kaz is like, no, we ain't doing this. Nothing to gain from fighting you. Daniels is like,
wait a minute.
Okay, this is a perfect time to do Daniels and Kaz one last time.
I mean, Daniels and AJ.
Daniels Styles one last time.
And so the feud that never ends continues.
Yep, it's just the feud that never ends. It just goes on and on, my friends.
Yes. And it might get some resolution appropriately enough at Final Resolution if it happens there. Because they're doing AJ Kaz next week.
Anyways, Austin Aries is backstage, and he says he's figured out which buttons to push around in TNA. And next week on Open Fight Night, we're not going to want to miss what he's going to do.
Open Fight Night's not next week.
Yeah, it is.
I thought it was the gut check thing.
No, it's Gut Check and Open Fight Night. They're doing both.
Okay. And then our main event.
Oh, by the way, before this, we had Kurt Angle convince the D'Lo Brown, Brother Love, and Al Snow that Wes Briscoe should be the next person on Gut Check.
Political persuasion.
Yep. Anyways, our main event, Bobby Roode versus James Storm. This is pretty good because it's Bobby Roode versus James Storm, although there were some problems, like the crossface he locked in looked kind of weird because he was strapping on his forehead instead of on the shin where that's normally locked in. That was kind of weird. Wouldn't you think?
Yep.
So anyways, Roode cheats and wins. So Bobby Roode's the new number one contender, negating what happened at Turning Point.
Yay, logic.
Yep, that was the end of Impact.
Yep.
I really didn't like this show. I didn't.
Okay.
It was underwhelming. I didn't like the pay-per-view. I didn't like this show. Even though the spoilers are already out for next week's show, I hope it's a hell of a lot better than this week. Because it really does need to be.
Apparently they're going to be starting to tape Impact again in January, from what I'm hearing.
They're actually going to tape. They're actually taping Impact for Christmas as well and New Year's.
Mm-hmm.
But there is some talk that they're going to continue doing it live, but just these little things.
Well, they should do the gut check stuff live, I think.
Well, no, not the Wes Briscoe Gut Check. That's already been done.
I mean every other gut check following that one.
Good point. Yeah, so yeah, this show was piss poor.
Yep.
Well, not piss poor, underwhelming. I've seen piss poor Impacts. This wasn't a piss poor one. This actually had some redeeming qualities to it.
Yep.
Oh, by the way, do we really need to talk about the fact that, I forgot, we need to talk about this. Rob Van Dam.
Yes.
At house shows.
Yes.
You know what happened at the house show? At one house show, RVD couldn't find his X Division title, so a match had to be delayed.
Oh, good
For
lord.
some reason, he couldn't find his fucking belt.
Good job, RVD. That's why we pay the big bucks.
Yep. That is why we pay you the big bucks, RDD, to not know where your damn belt is.
Yay.
And in Ontario, RVD still didn't have a freaking belt in Ontario. You know why he didn't have a belt this time? Because Customs had it in Canada because he tried to hide a bag of weed in it.
God damn it, RVD.
Yes. He hid his stash in the belt.
Good job.
Get it back, but he could get it back when he crossed back into the United States.
I wonder if Customs, the people at Customs are using that stash. They probably need something to do when it's a slow day.
You know how RGD loses his belt? RVD couldn't find his damn head if it were screwed on straight. So why the hell?
RVD's head hasn't been screwed on straight in years.
Yeah. So yeah, RVD
is an idiot.
Anyways, CR mentioned that Madison Rayne got robbed at the airport, but someone stole her underwear.
What a shitty robber. Must be a guy.
Yeah, pervert. Yeah. Why?
We know why.
No, why all of this news? Seriously. Why the fuck does RVD cannot find his goddamn belt?
Why do we care about Madison? Wait, why do we care about Madison Rayne getting her underwear stolen?
By a pervert, yeah.
We know what he's using it for. We don't need to say it on air.
Yeah, we don't. Anyways.
Dear God.
Yeah.
Move on.
Yeah, the news on Impact really does confuse me. Seriously, it just does.
Right.
Anyways, that's why RVD had his belt this week, and I was thinking to myself, see, RVD has his belt this week. RVD at least found it this time. At least had it glued onto him.
Dude, where's my belt?
Or maybe Hulk Hogan glued it to his freaking forehead.
Do not lose this until we have to lose it anyway.
Lose this belt. God damn it, RVD. Why are you still the world champion?
The X Division champion. Because we have nobody else.
Why
We
are
really
you
don't.
division
we don't-
champion? Apparently,
we have-
Jeff Sorensen's cleared to wrestle again. Why are you still the champion?
Good for him.
God. RVD freaking T.
Why are you still employed?
Hide your stash in the freaking belt. Really? Are you gonna?
That belt has a compartment for weed.
Or are you gonna use your belt as a bong? Are you gonna?
I made a joke about that a few weeks ago, didn't I?
Yep. Are you gonna use that belt as a bong, or smoke it up? Roll it up. Put all the weed inside. Take a big puff.
Make sure nobody catches you. What was that?
I have no idea. Sound like wind or something. REDX Division Champion Jeff Hardy.
Fail.
Jeff Meth Hardy, World Champion.
TNA, our champions are weed heads.
Our company learns nothing. Anyways, I want to announce that 2 days ago, my second nephew was born, Logan Tyler.
Congratulations.
Oh yeah, we have now another kid. So yeah, another kid in the house. It's kind of cool. So we got to talk about some selling stuff because Shikara has a pay-per-view for but it won't be on Go Fight Live.
No, huh?
It'll be on SmartMark Video on Demand.
And when is this?
This is December 2nd. They're
Oh.
under the show. Their season finale.
Okay.
And there are 2 matches signed up. First of all,
they also have the Cybernetical show coming up on November 18th.
Yep.
Sunday.
Anyway, here's the 2 matches they have for Under the Hood right now. For the Young Lions Cup, Mark Angelosetti defends it against ACH.
Atch.
Yep. And 2 teams with 2 points will face each other as Taylor and Gargano take on 3.0.
2 former Campeonatos de Prejas.
Yeah. So,
And the Cybernetico is on Sunday, I believe, right? Sunday afternoon?
Yes.
No, next Sunday afternoon.
Yes,
Is it?
and that card is, we got Fire Ant versus the Shard. We
Yeah.
got a last-minute addition to the card, Dasher Hatfield versus Icarus.
Icarus.
We got 1, 2, 3 Kid and Marty Jannetty, who have 2 points, going for their 3rd point against the Heartthrobs.
Random appearance.
Yep. We have Soldier Ant versus Mark Angelosetti. No belt on no tight cup on the line. And our main event is the Torneo
Cybernetico. Which is going to be Eddie Kingston, along with the with Tim Donst, 3.0 Akuma, and the Spectral Envoy against
versus 16.
Jimmy Jacobs, the Briscoes, the Bucks, and the Bravados.
Yep. That should be interesting.
Yep. And I don't think we're going to be on next week because obviously it's Thanksgiving.
Oh, no. Yeah, next week there's no show, so 2 weeks from now we'll have a 2-week doubleheader again.
Yep, and also I'm going to just hype this Saturday night, NCWE in Bangor for their joint run show with IWE called Hostile Takeover, and it'll feature Ultimate Survival, where they have announced teams. On IWE's side, it will be the Roadblock, John the Bomb Breyer, Frankie Flash, Mason X, and Ryan London. On the NCWE side, it'll be their who is it? Aiden Andrews. Should really have this in front of me. Aiden Andrews, Ben Durant, and I think there's 3 other. Yeah, it's 5-on-5, but I can't remember the other 3. And then also on the card, we have Crash Landing and Hobo Joe for the interstate title.
I'm sure Hobo Joe was actually at Impact since I believe Daniels called the Impact crowd hobos and vagrants. So maybe
what the hell is
Hobo
a
Joe was at the
vagrant?
show. It's a hobo.
So they called them hobos, yeah.
Yep, so Hobo Joe might have been at the Impact Zone.
I highly doubt it.
I know.
Anyway, we also have Adam Rickert defending the NCWE title against the Canadian enforcer Gene Giroux. And we have the IWE Championship defended in a street fight as Gino Martino takes on the Underground Assassin Rob Marsh. And the main event is a tag title match for NCWE, as it'll be Jivin' Jimmy and WWE Hall of Famer Tony Atlas against the team of Brandino Davis and Andy McKenzie. And then on November 30th, IWE will be coming to Island Falls, featuring a tag team grudge match as Jive and Jimmy and Tony Atlas battle Sonny Roselli and John DeBon Breyer, as well as ECW original Chris Hamrick and a lot more. The next night in Brewer for Cabin Fever Ruckus will be the Gino Martino versus Chris Hamrick in an Extreme Rules match for the IWE title, and Jive and Jimmy and Tony Atlas in a unification match against IWE's tag team champions Scotty Vegas and Scott Wilde. December 6th, Pro Wrestling Maine presents their big show, which features 3 steel cage matches headlining the bill, including just signed a 4-way cage match involving ROH superstar Jimmy Jacobs, Cameron Matthews, Connor Murphy, and Vinny Marzaglia, as well as the Scuffling Hillbillies against the Heartthrobs. And in the main event, it will be the United States title contested in the steel cage, as the Prodigy Mike Bennett battles Jimmy Wang Yang. Also, January...
I'm Jimmy Wang Yang, and I'm your boy.
Yes, indeed. And, of course, January 5th, IWE's 5th anniversary tour featuring the Honky Tonk Man and Scotty 2 Hotty will be in Fairfield, Maine. And then February 23rd of 2013, which is a few months off anyway, but it will be Primer Inc. presenting pro wrestling featuring former ECW superstar New Jack, which I didn't know he still worked.
New Jack needs pay for some of those sexually transmitted disease he's got.
I hope they don't have Sprite or whatever. I don't hope they have Sprite.
Yeah, don't have Sprite. He'll kill somebody.
And I guess that's it. For my partner Seth Draken, I'd like to wish all of you guys a happy Thanksgiving, and we will see you in 2 weeks.
Yep, see you in 2 weeks.
Bye.